Hey guys, Tom Drozopolsky here, one of your directors here at Venture Out, and I wanted to provide a video update or inquiry of sorts and ask for your participation. Um, Venture Out has dramatically changed since it was built and designed to be basically a campground or an RV park. And if you look at some of the old pictures, it was wide open. And if you can imagine back then, if you came in with your RV and parked it, you pulled it with a truck, you and your family were in that vehicle, maybe one other. But as our park has changed, you can see now that it's full. The density of buildings and the availability of parking in a yard or parking in a larger driveway has changed. Some because of the way that many people have chosen to maximize their lot, really limiting parking. But here's the problem with that. If you drive around during our busy season, sometimes during the off season, but typically during the busy season, let's say sometime in May through September, and go down any of the interior streets, try and imagine a fire truck trying to get down that street in a hurry to put out a fire, or an ambulance trying to quickly get to somebody who's in cardiac arrest, or a kid who's been injured, or someone who's choking, any type of emergency. It creates a real hazard of sorts, or a delay in the delivery of that emergency response. Not to mention some other potential safety issues when you have lots of vehicles parked in a road and people walking and golf carts and bikes and dogs and kids. It's a visual barrier. So we're trying to evaluate how to handle that. So we're asking ourselves, where do all these vehicles come from? We're looking at existing policy that suggests people need to park in their driveway first. That's an actual rule. And then we're taking inventory of overflow parking areas that can be utilized. So I just wanted to kind of give you a heads up that this is something that we're looking at, and we're going to try and figure out a way to improve that situation so that we have less congestion and the streets are open for emergency vehicles and some of the other reasons I noted. But as you see that on board agendas in the coming weeks or maybe next year, whenever it's going to occur, if you have thoughts on this, maybe solutions you would like to recommend, I would ask you to participate. We, as board of directors, as members of the board, we're just owners like you. I own a small business here in Florida, and my experience is limited to what I do. But many of you may have opportunities to share productive ideas. I think when you get involved with the process too, you'll find that sometimes one solution appears to be really effective, but then it creates two other problems you have to address. So getting involved actually will also show you some of the challenges with how we deal with these things. But I'd much rather have that than have us develop a solution and then find out that you had a great and maybe better idea. Now, with that said, I can assure you that as a member of the board, I have ideas that I believe are good ideas, and I have to convince my other directors that my idea is the best idea. And I'm not always able to do that, but I don't take it personally. It doesn't hurt my feelings. Like, it's not an insult to me. Sometimes I spend a great amount of time trying to consider something and present it, and it's not voted on or accepted. So when you get involved with this process, it's not a sure bet that what you recommend is going to be gold. And maybe the end solution, you're going to find out your idea was, or feel that your idea was always better. So have a little bit of thick skin in the process, but know that as a board, we respect the input of others and encourage participation. So a little bit of a long video here, but I wanted you to know that these are complicated issues, okay? And we also want to consider, as we address them, the extent of the issue that we're addressing. If this is only an issue the week of 4th of July, then we find a solution for the week of the 4th of July. But what we discovered is that we're really becoming a multi-season community, and our season's expanding, and congestion in the park and parking specifically it's a real problem. So just giving you a heads up that this is something we're considering, and if you have thoughts or ideas, we would love to hear what you got to say. I'll include my email address in this email. So if you want to email me your thoughts, I'd be happy to take those to the board. And if you want to set up a conference call or a Zoom to share your ideas if they're complicated, we're happy to do that as well. Hey, everybody have a great day. We'll see you.